Panther Nation, what's good? Welcome back to Two Fans in the Stands. I'm your favorite armchair GM, CJ.
And I'm your favorite couch scout extraordinaire, Tony. Come on, one time.
Panther Nation, you know what we here for. Let's talk about that mess we saw yesterday. Let's get it. Tony, cousin, we had a lot of optimism yesterday. We were on our live with Black Cat Panther podcast, and we was talking about how happy we were for Panther football, how happy we were to see Bryce Young. We gave our thoughts
Yes,
and
sir.
opinions on a lot of stuff. And to me, the Carolina Panthers heard all our opinions. They put it in a Ziploc bag. They went out in the on Lake Wiley and
In
tossed
the
that shit
ocean
overboard.
and threw it
Yeah,
overboard.
threw it overboard. So yeah,
Yeah.
man, let me say, and I know most of Panther Nation already know, and we're giving our recap here, but that was a mess. That was a complete and utter mess.
It was, but like I said, I knew too much thought wasn't gonna be put into the game. I
Hmm.
knew, and like I mentioned before on the live, that everything was gonna be vanilla. It was gonna look vanilla. I didn't expect it to look that vanilla. Like that vanilla had no flavor. You know
That
what I'm
vanilla
saying?
melted in the
Like
sun.
it did something. But you
Ooh.
know, all the questions that I posed in the live yesterday with Black Cat Panther podcast was pretty much answered. Number one, I wanted to know how much Bryce Young was going to play. I thought he was going to play about a quarter. He played
Mm,
3 series. Number two, I wondered if Dante Jackson and J.C. Horn was going to play, and if so, how much. They both played 1 series, right?
mm,
And I also posed the question to Q and everybody in the live yesterday, how concerned was everybody with the offensive line? Well,
ooh.
obviously, it was more of a concern than we cared to speak about today. But here it is.
Yeah,
The reality is the offensive line looked like shit yesterday,
it did.
and now we gotta talk about the ass. And the fourth question was, what did we want to see out of the defensive front?
Yeah,
And to me, by everything being vanilla, there was no stunts, there was no exotic blitzes or anything ran like that. It was just basically like a basic one-on-one, 11-on-11 matchup. But
yeah,
from what I seen from the first team defensive line, it was okay, even though the Jets drove down the first series and
yeah.
got the field goal. But like I said, if you look at it in its totality, and you
Mm,
have to keep everything in perspective as far as what the defense did from a standpoint of being vanilla, keeping it
yeah.
basic. Uh, Brian Burns didn't play, Jeremy Chin didn't play, James Justin Houston didn't play. I know. So those to me like three important cogs on that defense that didn't show up last night. We got a good look at a lot of rookies, a lot of undrafted players. There were some guys that show improved yesterday, like Amari Barno. DJ Johnson did pretty good, with his opportunity. Okay,
Mm,
Sam Franklin had an interception. I think it was a third or fourth quarter. I can't remember. But he had a nice pick, reading the quarterback, picked the ball off. So I mean, there was some good, but you just expected more. Um,
yeah,
the major disappointments for me, I'm gonna start with the drafted players. And I'm gonna say Jamie Robinson. I didn't like the
yeah.
fact that how he got shook out his boots, but then turned
Mm,
around and didn't give no effort on the play. Like, come
mm,
on, dog. You can't sit there and post and talk about there ain't 144 players better than you, and then you gonna put something like that on tape your first game. I mean, come
thank
on, dog. This shit, your 1+1 ain't equaling two right now.
you.
You know what I'm saying? So I was disappointed in that, and I'm not surprised in the disappointment that we had with Michael Jordan and Cam Irvin. CJ, we've been talking about this, harping on this ever since last year. Matter of fact, even when they signed him, like
Mhm.
I don't know what it is that they see in these guys that we are not seeing. But if
Yeah.
James Campen and Scott Fritter and them don't do something quick and realize this ain't it,
Yeah.
bruh, just like we pray that uh, Dante Jackson and J.C. Horn don't get hurt, I pray that Taylor Moton and Ike Quano don't get hurt. Because you got to
Mhm.
bring in Cam Irvin or Lionel Coleman, and then you got to bring in Michael Jordan. Like, dog, that takes me back to like 2 years ago when we had that sorry ass offensive line when they were starting
Yeah.
and we were getting Sam Darnold and all them guys killed. Like, come
Mhm.
on.
Yeah.
But the highlight, believe it, believe it or not, the highlight of the night was Bryce Young doing what I hope to see him do. He stood in the pocket,
Mhm.
showed poise, commanded the offense, and the thing that should give everybody a little bit more comfort on today is
Keep
that
going.
he took three big hits. He
Mhm.
took three big hits and got up and kept ticking and kept moving. So I
Yeah.
don't think there should be any more questions about can he take a big hit.
Mhm.
What he gonna do once he get hit? Well, hell,
Yeah.
he got hit on the first play. And matter of fact, completed the pass to Adam Thielen.
Mhm. Yeah.
Complete the pass. So I don't want to hear any more questions about that. But that's all that I took from the game last night. It wasn't much to take from it, but those are the ones that I was looking forward to seeing and had questions about, and I think they all got answered. So what about you, CJ?
Well, I'm gonna piggyback on one of the things you said, and Bryce Young, he got hit. The second play
Right.
from scrimmage, his first pass attempt, he got mollywopped, as you can see from the replay, especially if they show the angle from the other side of the field, and it's like he throw the ball and
Blindside.
he disappears like this right here.
Mm-hmm.
He just gone. So, like you said, he's a football player. Yes, he's 5'10", 205 or whatever, but he took a
Right.
hit, he got up, he moved on to the next play. Um,
Right.
the thing that the thing that disappointed me the most is especially me. I got on here yesterday and it was like when we asked how concerned we were with the offensive line, and I was like, I ain't concerned at all. Because other than
Right.
Austin Corbett, these are the same, five guys that we had just about all of last year after Bradley Bozeman got in the game and started playing. Got in that
Yeah.
got what game it was and started playing from them on.
Game five. I
Game
think
5.
him in game five.
Yeah. That's basically the same offensive line. And, you know, and I another thing I'm disappointed. I preached this too. And I said if everything is vanilla, I'm fine with everything being vanilla, but I want them to go out and execute this vanilla ass shit that they was about to throw at us. I did not realize that vanilla had been sitting out in that hot ass sun all day. And by the time they got on there, the vanilla was just on the field. Like, I give up. I mean,
Right.
there's
Right.
vanilla, there's vanilla, and then there was that crap that we saw last night. That was beyond vanilla.
Yeah.
I mean, and to me, that was just it was just so disappointing. And then on the first hit that Bryce took, it's like the Jets ran a stunt, and Icky and Christensen was just like um which yeah, there he go, he down.
You're right,
Go
exactly.
ahead,
And you
go
would
ahead.
expect, and you don't. That was disappointing for me too, because this is the beginning of year two of them two playing together.
Yep.
They should have been able to recognize a
Mhm.
simple defensive end tackle stunt. That's that's
Exactly.
that's basic.
Mhm.
That's
Basic.
basic play,
Mhm.
basic, and they couldn't even pick it up.
Yeah.
Man, it was somebody posted on Twitter talking about Icky had a good day. I was like, what? Like that? Where in the locker
Fair.
room?
Yeah.
Because
Well,
it damn sure wasn't on the field.
and that's what got me too was, they was on the sideline reporter and everybody, and they interviewed Icky, and he was over there laughing and giggling, and oh, I thought we did good. We got a few things to clean up. A few? You almost had to clean your quarterback up off the turf. You know what I mean? Like, okay, now here's my thing. I'm not going to come with the oh, it's just preseason. Don't be worried about it. Like, no, the stuff that happened yesterday should not have happened. Okay, but
Right.
I'm
I
also
agree.
not going to jump on this bandwagon where, oh, time to pack up and get you another team because the ship is already sank. No, but we got to call a spade a spade. We got to call it what it is. And yesterday was just trash. Okay, just
Right.
absolute trash. And let me tell you, like we were saying, Michael Jordan and Cam Irvin, the quicker they can pack their bags and get them up out of here, I'll be happy. I'm not going to say that it can't get no worse than them because I'm pretty sure it could, but they got to be able to find a better option than them two coming in. And it also really worried me in the post game presser when Frank Wright was like, we didn't put them in the best position, to succeed. And it's almost like and I'm well, not almost, but not like it was on purpose. And another thing that gets me is, we got this coaching staff and we've sat here and hyped them up like they're going to be the best coaching staff ever. They got all these years of experience as players that will translate into how they coach and they can teach these players because they've been in the same position that they have been. But then you go out
Right.
there and do this and don't put them in the positions to succeed. Now, I can see if it was a situation where you had maybe like a fourth down and 20 or something, you got put in that spot, and you're like, okay, cool, let's go out here and see what you got just in case the game is on the line and we have to do this. All right. And then we can see, what we got to improve on. But my thing is not the entire game plan as to yeah, we're gonna go out here and test them the entire game. Like, nah, if that was the case, put Andy Dalton or Matt Corral in and let them play the whole game. Don't put your rookie out there and get him
Right.
flambéed on his first pass attempt. That's what got me. That's
And they
what
didn't
got
do
me.
Matt Corral. They didn't do Matt
No,
Corral any favors last night neither.
they didn't do any favors. And I mean, and we really okay. Now everybody's talking about the Jets. Okay, I'm not gonna say that, I mean, I can't say the Jets are a bad team, you know, but I'm not gonna sit here and hype them up like they're this, proverbial bar that's at the top of the league. And this was such a great measuring stick for us to go out and play against the Jets. I mean, we ain't even play against Aaron Rodgers. But if you
Right.
turn that around, flip it over, that still looks terrible for us because we look that way against Zach Wilson and a lot of backups. So
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So it's
I
it's
agree.
catch 22 for me any way you look at it. But like I said earlier, um, I'm not going to say it's just a preseason game because that right there looked like I ain't gonna lie, it kind of looked like my son's JV football team learning how to play football. If you want to call it what it really looked like, that's what it looked like. Okay.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as I mentioned before, I'm not jumping on this train. The season is over. We're done for. We're going to lose. No,
Oh,
because
by no means.
yeah, by no means. Now mind you, if we come out next week in New York, and, and it's the same story, then okay, folks, it's time. It might be time to panic a little bit. Anybody that wants to panic, I'm not gonna. You know, I'm not gonna say you shouldn't. But if we come out 2 weeks in a row
Well,
looking like that, then we might be in trouble. Go ahead, Tony.
well, no. Well, for me, I'm not going to panic at all because, like
Mhm,
I said, it's preseason, and Frank Wright pretty much said the same thing that I have been thinking or had mentioned a couple of times that they were going to be vanilla. You were going to see a whole lot. I was
mhm.
expecting, I was expecting to see something
Yeah.
within their playbook. I expected to see something of the triangle read offense last night. I was expecting to see a little something in the wide zone offense last night. Like they didn't run anything in their playbook because they said, like Frank Wright said, they don't want to show anything right now in preseason. I get it and I understand that. So by him coming out saying that, I'm not going to panic as if they had an elaborate scheme or a certain game plan and that game plan wasn't executed at all. Like the way that he said it, they didn't
Mhm.
have anything there. Like they just wanted to see They wanted a chance to evaluate players in one-on-one situations. Does that mean that he didn't want to see a better performance from the team? No, it doesn't mean that. But he's not putting no stock in it right now, so I'm not gonna put no stock in it right now.
I gotta put a
But
little bit of stock in it.
if they play like this week one, now if they do this in week one, which I doubt.
Yeah.
I doubt very seriously. But I'm just saying,
Mhm.
if they do, well, there's gonna be some
Trouble.
furniture moving in my house, and I ain't trying to rearrange no couch.
Yeah. But I gotta put a little bit of stock in it, because my thing is, it's like, okay, if you didn't wanna show nothing, my thing is, do
Right.
you have a playbook that consists of 7 plays? And you only show 2 of them? You get what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, how limited is
Yeah.
your playbook that you had to come out there and put on that pitiful of a performance to be like, "Okay, yeah, we don't wanna show nothing." Like, my god, how many plays do you have? Do you only have 10 plays? I it
Yeah.
and I'll say
I
that
mean,
offensively and defensive.
well, like I said, I'm gonna put my brakes on that.
Mhm.
Let's see what next week brings when they travel
Yeah.
to New York and play the Giants. You
Mhm.
know, let's see if we're gonna get a little bit more into the playbook, get a
Yeah.
little bit more into the scheme, maybe put a little bit more pressure from a defensive standpoint, and
Mhm.
run some of the plays that we're supposed to quote unquote see in the
Yeah.
regular season. Like I get it, you want to be vanilla, you don't want to show your hand right now, but show something. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Not if it's not for the fans or the rest of the league, show it for your players because they need to
No.
play. They need to practice and implement
Mhm.
these schemes with the live bullets are flying, not just in
Mhm.
preseason or training camp. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, not just in training camp on the practice field.
Be mad, Panther Nation, but don't panic, okay? Let's get to next week and see what we got, all right? And, Tony, you got anything else you wanna say before we get up out of here?
Nah, man. Like I said, I'm just waiting to see what we do next week. We're gonna be
Mhm.
in MetLife Stadium against the Giants. That's gonna be week two of the preseason. Hopefully the starters play a little bit more.
Mhm.
Hopefully, a little bit more of the defensive and offensive scheme gets implemented and give us
Yeah.
a little taste of what we can expect in the regular season. Because I don't expect those guys to play a lot in the final preseason game against the Giants. I mean, I'm sorry, against the Lions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think this preseason game here um, will tell a tale a little bit, and definitely the offensive line need to get together real quick. All right.
But as always, Panther Nation, if you haven't already, please hit that like button, subscribe, turn on those post notification bells so you know when our videos come out. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. Thank and appreciate all the love and support that we've gotten so far. And as always, Panther Nation, still, even after yesterday, keep pounding.